I realize people want to say you're nitpicking to say that poor guy stinks. And that's the game they're playing with him, is because he's like, he's like a child. He can't take a fucking insult and keep his mouth shut and just let it slide over. He's got to keep throwing shit out at his people. I know you say it's a small thing, but, well, if he's going to be a man of religion dealing with evangelicals that want to vote for him, he needs to understand. I mean, remember, it was a few years ago. I hear about this right now, and they talk about this, and I remember a few years ago, there was something that came out there like, oh, his pants are on backwards. And I'm looking, I'm like, there's not even a fucking, somebody else said that his zipper was unzipped. I couldn't see his zipper, but I see this puffy thing down below. I remember back then thinking, that's not him with his pants undone. That's not him with his pants on backwards. He's got a fucking diaper under there. So not only does he stink, he shits his pants in front of people, world leaders. You want to wonder why fucking other parts of the country might say, oh gosh, what happened to the U.S.? But you notice they didn't attack us in those 4 years because they knew. They were like, this fucker, give him a chance, he'll get himself voted out and we won't have to fucking deal with him anymore. And he's doing this still, trying to play some game. But you want to know what happens to the evangelicals? They know that a body that stinks relates to a mind that stinks. You look at the brothers Karamazov by, I'm sure it was Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's been a long time since I read it. I get him confused with Voltaire and the other guy, Crime and Punishment, whichever way. There's so many of these Russians writing books polluting our brains. But in that, when I read it in 1993, I believe, there was the youngest of the three brothers Karamazov. He was very godly. He was a true believer. And he looked up to Monsignor Kaminski, whatever the guy's name. Mine was Monsignor Kaminski, a guy I revered, that told me God wouldn't bless me anymore in the end and kicked me out of the Catholic Church because he was a fucking maniac. And he wanted me back weeks later, and I told my mom, fuck no, without saying the words, fuck no. I knew what it felt as an 11-year-old boy. They couldn't get enough fucking Catholic boys at the St. Mary's Church Catholic school anymore to be altar boys. I was a true believer, and because I was a poor boy, we had to get out of the parochial schools and go to the public schools. And then he's calling me back after kicking me out, telling me God wouldn't bless me anymore in the sacristy. I'm like, I can't believe you're saying this to an 11-year-old boy. I didn't take any offense to it myself. Personally, the offense I took was on religion itself. Somebody that would fucking say this to an 11-year-old boy. And so here's the thing is, here's all the religion. Brothers Karamazov, that third one, he revered this fucking mentor of his, which might as well have been Monsignor Kaminski. And when he died, that mentor, they let the body sit. And the thing about a godly body is that it will not stink. A godly body shall not stink. And he was thrown off. Because their fucking Monsignor Kaminski sat in front of him and rotted and stank to high hell. That's where that poor guy loses evangelical voters, because no man of God can stink like sulphur and fucking Satan's baby. And, yeah. The thing is, with me, I'm way ahead of the curve. I happened to be back from the army one weekend on a Memorial Day, and Monsignor was dying in the fucking hospital. And I was like, you know what? There at Seagull Memorial Hospital. Why do they call that Seagull Memorial? Because that's where everybody fucking dies. You should take him to Petoskey. That's where I was born. It's a better hospital. Look. I didn't go. And then there was a call. They said, you're going to go see Monsignor Kaminski? I'm like, fuck him. I will not give him this last bit. Give him a chance to ask my forgiveness. If you have to ask my forgiveness, it means you've stood against my sensibility and you're just trying for an easy way out. I didn't go. And then Diane Peppers calls and I answered the phone. And she's like, Archie, is your mom home? I'm like, no, she's up at the farm at my grandpa's. And she said, could you please tell her that Monsignor died? I said, we all got to go sometime. Bye. Clank. And I said, I wonder how much he stunk after he went. Here we've got somebody that if a godly person does not smell like the stench of disease and fucking disdain, well, this guy shits himself in public right now. And he's alive. And he stinks to high hell. What? I gotta follow you around my whole life, wiping your ass for you?